So good to see you all for the full moon in Leo. And so it's powerful, as you've been noticing. We've been moving through very powerful times. And I want to say hello to everybody because people are still coming on now. I'm talking on Zoom where I can see a lot of people. But hello to Facebook too. And I'm so glad you're there. You know, this is such a powerful format. I couldn't have been born at a better time in the world than now, that all this technology is my friend and I love it all the time and just really use a lot. There's people here today from England, from Japan, from Oklahoma, from New York City, from Mexico, you know, Canada and LA, of course, where we are and where I am, and a bunch of you are. And it's so nice to have this greater group, you know, that meets together from wherever we happen to be, right? So it's powerful to meditate together. It's powerful to meditate on a full moon, because these are the pulses where this information kind of comes down and through. As the full moon descends the light, we are sort of ascending, reaching up to touch that coming down energy of this kind of the portal of the full moon in a sense. And so I always meditate every day, but the powerful points are the new moon, the full moon, the new moon, the full moon, the winter solstice, the summer solstice, these big wheels turning. And every day is, to me, like a moon point, right, along the phases of the moon as it comes from waning to waxing, right? And to watch that process and to be in flow with that process more and more and more. And as you get more attuned to full moon meditations, you start to feel it coming. And I'll bet you might have felt this one, because this one is Leo. So it's dramatic, right? It's intense. It's bigger than life. It wants to be seen. And the world is in a very dramatic time, actually, isn't it? You know, what's going on everywhere that we are aware of. And remember that what we're doing with these meditations is we are doing personal work, of course, within it, but we're also doing world service. So part of what happens within the meditation once we enter it is that you begin to send that energy out to the places that you're aware of and the places that you know of that need, they're like hotspots, right, around the planet, that need our love, that need the compassion, that need the intelligence, right, to help heal what's going on and to help this transition, right, happen in a way that is more elegant. I'll say it that way, than maybe what we've been sort of going through recently. So we're in Leo, and Leo is about heart. Leo literally rules the heart in your anatomy. It is the heart chakra. It's also the heart organ. And so it is about bravery and about courage. And I saw this fantastic quote today. I have it sitting in my studio. It says, what would you attempt if you knew you could not fail? Right? You've heard that, right? It's Tony Robbins uses it. He might have even said it. I don't know. But I think it's been around for a long time. What would you do? What would you attempt to do if you knew you could not fail? Right? And we're in times where there's so much unknown, like what's going to be and how's that going to land and how's that going to go and all those things that we're all observing together. But the quote that I loved, that I saw today, that I hadn't seen, and this is Brene Brown, who's one of my favorite people. She says, in response to that, what's worth doing even if I fail? And I love that, because it is in the doing, and it is in the attempting, it is the endeavor, right? It is that holy, sacred endeavor. You try to do your best, even if nobody notices, if nobody is with you on it, and if nobody cares, it seems, that you still, raise up. You raise your vibration. You do the best thing you know. You do the highest thing you know, versus just reacting with the rest of the world, right? And so one of the thoughts that I had for today's full moon is something for you to ponder and consider, is maybe to think about, like when we're in the meditation, but even now as I offer it, what do you need to be braver about in your life, right? And it's a really good question, isn't it? Because, we might, be being brave on many fronts, but there might be some part of your life that needs that conscious courage, right? That it really is on purpose having courage in the face of something unknown or scary to you in some way, or that doesn't feel like it can end well. How do you still have heart, when things don't seem to be going the way you want them to, or things are out of your control, right? People are out of our control. We can't really control anybody. Can't control countries personally, right? And as a group, though, we can start to collectively create a group energy that is for the highest good, whatever that means. So it's not got a design on it where we're trying to make some certain thing happen. We're in flow with the universe, right? We're in flow with the divine plan. We're in flow with what needs to happen in order that, the world improves and gets more full and abundant and healed and peaceful and all those things that we all wish. So as a group, we create a field of energy that is radiant, right? And as an individual, we do the same thing. Your own field is radiant when you meditate. But when you join a group, it becomes many, 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 many times more radiant, as an illuminative and enlightening and affecting to the house next door, right? To the neighborhood, right? To the city, to the town, to the place that you are. That light, that consciousness radiates outwardly. And so this becomes a practice about living by heart in the full moon of Leo. And I'll just show the chart briefly. This is the chart of today. Oh, well, the full moon is exact on tomorrow at 8:36 or 8:37. So you can see that, and I've circled in yellow the the full moon. And you can see it's a really interesting organization where the moon is sitting off by itself and all the other planets are on the other side of the chart. So there's this little bit of a feeling of by yourself with this, like you have to manage this kind of on your own right now, and to strengthen that muscle that even though it seems so much is going on, that you get to right now start to be in relationship to all that's out there that you can see in the chart, and start to affect it like we are doing. So our little golden moon down at the bottom there is radiating to have an effect to help bring things into a more balance or into more harmony in some way. And I want to show one more chart of the US. And this is the United States chart from 1776, July 4th, 1776. And it's got Sagittarius rising. And what I circled there in yellow is Pluto at 27 Capricorn. And I wanted to just make a note because it's very interesting what's happening with that. So Pluto's orbit is very, very slow. The sun makes a rotation, one entire orbit in a year, 365 days. There's 360 degrees in a circle. So it's based on that. And the moon makes that same orbit in 28 days, right? Approximately. And so the sun's doing it in 1 year, the moon's doing it in 28 days. So the moon's going really, really fast. And then Pluto's orbit is 248 years. Okay? So guess what Pluto's doing? It is conjuncting itself. It's called a Pluto return. We've been feeling it for the last 2 years. As you've noticed, all the things that are happening in our world are all Plutonian. The upheaval of systems, the changing of the guard, the change that is trying to happen, that is quite intense, right? Pluto is always intense. And so Pluto is coming back to itself. In your life, your Pluto will never make a return. You'd have to live, 250 years before it could do that, right? So Pluto will move a little bit in your chart, in your life. But now when you're looking at a nation's chart, right, it's a whole different thing because that return can actually happen and it is happening. And the first exact Pluto return, there's 3 of them that are happening this year, all in this year, are, February, right now, on this full moon. And then the next one is in, I think it's March. I thought I wrote this down. Hold on. March, but okay, something like March. I'll if you're curious, you can ask me. And then again, the last one, I remember this, is December 28th of this year. So it's it's going to be this whole year of continuing upheaval, right? Change. Things are breaking down and things are rebuilding, of course, too. Things need to break down in order for something new to occur. And we've been experiencing that in so many ways in the last couple of years. So that was as it was coming towards this conjunction now, and we'll have another year or so of this kind of going back out. So it's big, big energy. If you can look in your chart where 27 Capricorn is. That could be interesting. You can also look in your chart where the full moon is, which is 28 Leo. So one more thing I'll just mention about the Sabian symbol for 28 Leo. I just did another meditation earlier and we were looking at the solar sign, which is Aquarius, the opposite sign, and it's at 28 or 29 actually, Aquarius. So that's the opposite sign. So when we have it, so I'll just read you the Sabian symbol for Aquarius first, so which is the opposing point, where all those planets were on the other side of the chart. And it says, a butterfly emerging from a chrysalis. And these are little meditations, right? Little meditations, things to ponder. A butterfly emerging from a chrysalis. The full moon degree at 29 Leo is a mermaid. And the whole thing of it says, a mermaid emerges from the ocean waves, ready for rebirth into human form. So they're both about being born, aren't they? They're both about emergence. Emergency. Emergence, right? Emergence. What is emerging? That is a question. And that might have to do with the other question is, what do you need to be braver about? Right? What is emerging? What is coming up? What is in the throes of change? What is ready to be born? What is in that transitory state, right? From the chrysalis from a caterpillar to a butterfly, right? From a caterpillar to a chrysalis, right? Which is like a little nut, to a butterfly. What is coming into your life that is preparing to emerge? So this big full moon energy of Aquarius, while the world is going through this big change, and especially the United States, and it ripples out right across the world, that what we're going through, everybody's going through a little bit, because the country is so affecting to other countries, because we're such a world power in a sense, and we have influence. We're a very big influencer. And so we are having a ripple effect out there. And they're having their own changes. The other countries, the other places, the other people, everybody on this planet is going through these big changes. So when we have Aquarius, Leo, we have two concepts kind of working together. One is the Aquarian ideal, the utopian thought. What is the best thing? What is the highest thing we can reach for philosophically or by government organization? What is the ideal, right, of love? What is the ideal of peace? What is the ideal of government? Versus Leo, which is about the courage, right, to see it through. All right, so here's these two energies. How does that apply to your own life, of course, is really important to wonder about. And it's also how it's affecting the whole world as we reach for this ideal, but we don't know how to manifest it quite, right? How do you do that? And it takes courage. It takes heart. It takes being able to face something that there doesn't seem that there's an answer to, right? To face the fear, to face the unknown, to face the changes that come with that, that emergence of the mermaid into the human form, or the chrysalis into a butterfly. So these are the thoughts, and I wanted to show one more image, which I felt really matches this energy that we're talking about. See, there it is. And this image I've found, gosh, I don't know who did it, but it's years old now, probably 10 years old. And I loved it so much when I saw it. But here it is again, like, doesn't it even more matter? As we come to the ideal, right? And how do you manifest the ideal? Or how do we make a better world, right? We do it with this image, with love, right? It doesn't have to be violent, but tends to be, that's the only way we usually change is through pain. So are there other ways to change besides pain? Yes. Yes is the answer. Is there other ways to change besides violence? Is there other ways to change besides polarization, right? So love, right? Becoming the tool. That phrase I say all the time is love is how. Love is how. When in doubt, love is how. And how do you apply love? How do you use the tool of love to heal a condition in your body and your mind and your life in the world is a different answer all the time, because it's not a template that you can go quank onto anything and the behavior would be the same, because love looks different depending on what the situation is. Often I say, sometimes love says no, right? It depends. So, but it's love, and you can feel that love in your body and your senses. And what I've been teaching about in the meditation classes over and over lately is about how to know what your own intuition is. How do you tell an intuitive thought from a thinking thought? How do you feel the difference? What is energy, working with energy? So when you're moving through love, you can feel it. Because if it's not love, it's not love. So, right? So anything else isn't love. So even the no is love. You can feel that love to no, you can't stay out all night, my child, right? It's still an act of love, but it's not that violent or I say so, or I'm the adult and you're the child and what do you know? It doesn't have that violence to it. It is simply to serve. So you're doing something in service for someone's highest good. And sometimes that's a no, and sometimes that's a yes, and sometimes it's strict, and sometimes it's tender. Love is how. So we're going to take all of that into the meditation. These thoughts, I'm calling this moon the brave moon, right, for the ideal. The brave moon. What do you need to be braver about? So I'll leave a space for us to ponder that when we go inside the meditation. So there will be some silence in this at some point, but I'll start us off. So when you're ready to, if you have a candle, you can light it. If you don't, just light one in your mind. You don't need to physically light a candle ever, actually. It's really all symbolic, isn't it? But by lighting it, physically, or you see me lighting mine, it becomes yours. It's our candle. Or you might have one and then you light it as well. And that will be perfect. Good. And that holds the space of our meditation. The candle holds the energy. It acts like a container to hold the value, the gem of what the meditation will be. So stand receptive, right? I stand receptive to light. I stand receptive to awareness. I stand receptive to higher knowing. I stand receptive to solution. You fill in the words, right? What are the words that are the ones that would empower you, right, into this meditation? As you enter the meditation, how can you enter the meditation in a way that is empowering to you, right? How can you enter the meditation so that you receive it? Can you feel that? So that you receive it. Because we can hold it at a distance and keep it just out there and say, oh, it didn't do anything, because we're not letting it in. So how much can you let it in, right? So take your seat, get comfortable. Good. And when you're ready to, close your eyes and join the group space on Zoom, on Facebook, on the planet of the millions of meditators that are meditating right now with us all around the world. And sense that community of consciousness that is interconnected like a living light matrix. Of this world service meditation, being aware of all the other awarenesses and beings on this planet, whether they know it or not, our soul, right? And as we encounter and move through and in and within our communities, that consciousness of the light of our own consciousness awakens other people's consciousnesses, right? It spreads, it opens. Love begets more love. Light makes more light. And you start to create a field around your life and from within yourself that shines and lights the way. So when you're soul connected, this becomes an experience. This becomes a living, breathing thing through you, through this vehicle of the body, of the self. And every time you meditate, you're adding layers of consciousness, more awareness, more light into where your eyes look. Light is moving through your eyes, through your awareness. Love is moving through your words, through your speech, through your offering, through your touch. Because it awakens the soul, awakens the personality to its greater life, rather than the one that we think we only are. This little life of me. We're so much bigger than that, right? We're so much bigger than that. We are pure light. We are light in form. So, aware of that greater community, of the awakened ones and the ones that will be awakened, because everyone will be awakened. The Bodhisattva's vow is that the Buddha cannot ascend until every being does before him, her, right? Till every being does before him, right? This is what's happening, this awakening on the planet that is part of this polarization. And you just stand in love, you stand in the courage of love, you stand in the heart of the lion heart. And you begin to sense the soul just above and behind, kind of holding the space of you, always, ever, ever aware of you. And in your head center now, take your seat and say the mantra. It's a really powerful one you can use all the time. I and the soul are one. I and the soul are one. And as you remember that, not learn it, remember that, it's already, the self is already in flux, in change, in higher vibration. I and the soul are one. Om. And from that greater connected consciousness between the soul and the self, which becomes more and more normal, I and the soul are one. Om. Normal. How I am, how it is. I and the soul are one. I am light in form. Om. The life starts to reflect this, right? The life reflects this greater life, where this life becomes soul directed through the self. I just watched Billie Eilish's movie. Ooh, right? Soul directed, whether she knows it or not, right? All of us are soul directed. And if you offer no resistance to that direction, you begin to live those dreams that you hold. And you have those dreams because they are yours to express, right? So given all that then, in the depths of you, aware of the soul with you all the time, all the time, all the time. Ask yourself gently. Ask the soul directly if you like. What do I need to be braver about right now? What do I need to be braver about right now? And begin to know this answer. What do I need to be braver about? With compassion, with kindness, not a whipping, but an asking, or even better, an allowing of your great big heart to shine through all that muddy water. No mud, no lotus. We need that to create through. It is our very wounds that are our gifts are hidden within. What do I need to be braver about? Sense the bigger answer to this than the advice of the personality. And just see your soul, that angelic presence before you, loving you only. Love is how. Loving you only. And sense the soul asking you, what do you need to be braver about? Dear one, dear heart. Feel yourself recognize that answer as so. As you're knowing this within this meditation, the answer is within you. And feel yourself standing straighter and agreeing. Yeah. Yes. I want to be braver about this condition, this thing, this part of me, this fear, this whatever it is. I want to be braver about it. And try. And just as you say that, I'll try. I try. I am trying. Not from a defense, but by the sheer joy of that response. Can you sense the ripple effect out into the world? Just to infinity? How things could change pretty easily? If we would just be a little braver, see? Maybe that's better. What do I need to be a little braver about? Because it can seem too big, right? Insurmountable. It's just a little that you need to be braver. You don't have to change personalities or be different than who you are, but just be a little braver. Feel yourself nod, yes, I will. Inside, yes. Feel the chorus of the Om of the universe responding and like to that answer. Yes. As it supports you, as it lifts you, that as it assists you in being a little braver. Yes. And feel how your presence is bigger, like you're more embodied as you take this step. That there's more of you because you are soul embodied right now, more than you have ever been before, maybe right now. And feel that bigger you joining the you, the me, connecting, integrating, becoming one and the same. And use your breath to practice feeling what it feels like to be soul connected, feeling what it feels like as a sensorial experience of a conscious life. And feel the radiance of your awareness increasing, so that when you look this way or that way, is touched by that light. It is touched by that greater and growing knowing. And now take that lantern, that flashlight, that lighthouse light, and shine it at the world. And send blessings to those people and places and conditions that you're aware of, as an offering, as a gift. Through this brave heart to send love and holding for the highest good as we go through the growing pains of our evolution or our relovution. The revolution within the evolution is the relovution, that image. Love, love, shine it out. Love is how. Shine it out to people that you are aware of, to your own body, your own condition, your own dreams and aspirations. Shine it to places, countries, sending this brave brave heart, emphasis on the heart, brave as strength, strong heart, out into the world. With the breath. Blessings to all beings. All blessings to all beings. Om. All blessings to all beings. Om. All blessings to all beings. Om. And you can use your breath to ground you into this time and space. On this brave moon. Until you feel the energy through your whole body all the way down into your feet. Embodied consciousness. I am light in form. And my turn of words here is I am light informed, right? Good, and when you're ready to, letting yourself transition out of this meditation. The full moon is exact tomorrow at 8:56 a.m. So you can click into this in the morning if you want to and just sort of touch it. I'll be posting it on YouTube. It'll be up on Facebook. You could listen again, or you can just do it on your own, whatever works the best for you. And to kind of allow yourself to play with this idea of what you can be a little braver about, and that you said yes to gently take that out into your world and watch what happens. So the next full moon is will be Thursday, March 17th, which might be St. Patrick's Day. That could be interesting. And the next meditation class will be Tuesday, March 1st. So come if you can. I'll look forward to seeing you, hopefully on the next full moon. It's so great that so many of you are here. Thank you for being part of this. You're welcome to just stay in this space. We'll leave it open so you can just be there in the space or talk on the chat, say hi to each other, and on Facebook, I'll see you there. And so thank you very much, everyone, for being part of this. Love to everybody in Hawaii, too. Forgot to say that. Bye, everyone.